Children of the Corn from 1984 was really a shocking film and what have you. And of course, I re-reviewed this just recently. But after all these years, but after I've done it, I've never actually reviewed any of the sequels. But that's going to change now. So prepare yourselves, because those killer kids are back, and they're going to Hemingford now, just a few miles from Gatlin. Here's my review of Children of the Corn 2: The Final Sacrifice. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Noel, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1992 supernatural slasher flick Children of the Corn 2: The Final Sacrifice, originally released by Dimension Films and directed by David Price. Starring Terence Knox, Ryan Bollman, Ned Romero, and Paul Scherrer. The film was released in Germany on October 21st and then on January 29th the following year. It got a video release handled by Paramount. It would be the last film in the series to be released theatrically, as other sequels was released direct to video until the 2020 reboot. Now, this kind of does take place after um, the events of the first film. So, if you have not seen my re-review of the first Children of the Corn, I advise you click on that card and go check that out. But I can see a lot of y'all have watched it, and it's managed to get more views than my original review. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, that ought to do it. All right. So this film did okay in my view, so I'll go ahead and give you the story. The whole story, that is. The plot involves the dark goings on in Hemingford, Nebraska, a town near Gatlin, the original film's setting. 2 days after the events of the first film, the people of Hemingford decide to adopt the surviving children from Gatlin and help them start new lives. The well meaning locals are unaware that the children return to the cornfield where one of the cult members, Micah, is possessed by he who walks behind the rows, the demonic entity the cult worships. Calling the mill are city reporter John Garrett and his son Danny, who are having a bitter falling out over John's failed relationship with Danny's mother. John is in town working on a story about the children to save his downward spiraling career. He runs into two of his former co-workers, Bobby Knight and fellow reporter Wade McKenzie, who are on their way out of town. Later, they are killed in a nearby cornfield after taking a shortcut in their van. A mysterious, powerful storm that lasts only minutes causes the surprisingly sharp corn stalks to wreak havoc. Back in town, John meets bed and breakfast owner Angela Casual, and they soon become lovers. Looking to distance himself from his father, Danny befriends orphaned local girl Lacey, who tells him some disturbing details about Gatlin. Micah and the other children murder local woman Ruby Burke by sabotaging the hydraulic jack supporting her house while she's underneath it, causing it to descend and crush her. Micah then kills another townsperson, David Simpson, during church services with a knife and a wooden voodoo doll, which causes him to bleed to death from his head and face. Yikes. John starts to question the town doctor about what is going on, but the doctor acts suspiciously and asks John to leave. Afterwards, the doctor calls the sheriff and reports that John is investigating. The doctor is later stabbed to death in his office by the children. Micah and the children later kill Mrs. Burke's sister, Mrs. West, in the road and make it look like she was struck by a car. John partners with Frank Red Bear, a Native American professor at the State University, trying to make sense of the recent chaos and death. Frank leads John to ancient Native American rock paintings, telling him that Native Americans believe the area around Gatlin and Hemingford to hold a special power which can magnify good or bad, and that children are especially vulnerable. Frank recites a story which tells of children killing their elders, but also how, in the end, with a funeral pyre, a good spirit will emerge, first stipulating that the rock paintings show this has not yet come to pass. As they investigate the local corn storage, they discover the town residents have been selling spoiled corn from the previous year's harvest along with the new crop to maximize profits. Growing on the spoiled corn is a dark green acidic toxin which they believe is filling the town's air and contributing to a spate of delusions in the children, rendering them emotionless and violent. The sheriff discovers them spying on the site, ties them up, and leaves them to be killed by a corn harvester, but they escape. Along the way, John questions Frank further about what's going on, with Frank telling him how Native Americans believed in a spirit who would seek revenge for perceived wrongs done to the land, with he who walks behind the rose being the spirit. Now for the final act and the ending, as always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video, go to the description box below, and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. The sheriff and the rest of the Hemingford adults attend an emergency town hall meeting to discuss the situation, but the children lock them inside and set the building on fire, killing them all. The children then kidnap Angela and Lacey and take them out to the cornfield where they pressure a confused Danny to join them in sacrificing Lacey. John and Frank arrive driving the harvester. One of the children shoots Frank with an arrow, wounding him. Danny and John free Lacey and Angela and attempt to escape, but the cornfield seems endless and they shortly return to where they started. Micah attempts to harness the power of he who walks behind the rose until Frank restarts the harvester before he dies. Micah's robe gets caught in the machine and he calls for help. His face transforms first into a demon that possessed him, then back to himself. Danny runs in to help him, but it is too late. The harvester pulls Micah in, killing him. The rest of the children scatter, and Danny, Angela, Lacey, and John leave the clearing. John and Danny later reconcile as they burn Frank's body on traditional Native American funeral pyre, before Danny, Angela, and Lacey drive off together. Sometime later, Frank is seen doing additions to the rock paintings to show that the story has come to pass, with his spirit having become the protector of the area in the story. So, what did I think of Children of the Corn to the Final Sacrifice? Well, I am going to say it's much more fair than, well, in a slasher form than its predecessor. But I am going to say it's really freaky and pretty creepy as well. Definitely. Yeah. Now, I am going to say that this was just, in, well, really shocking and what have you. And I am going to say that it was really, really, yeah, shocking. King one. Anyway, now I am gonna say that I appreciate them now making this feel like a more like a slasher, unlike its predecessor, because even though we didn't get to see the killings too much and what have you in the first film, but anyway, I will say has it's pretty freaky and creepy, and there's just some cringe-worthy elements and what have you, especially some kills I just couldn't bear to watch. It was just too shocking and what have you. Before the aftermath. That's what I'm really trying to mean. But anyway, it eventually made nearly $7 million in the U.S. against its $1.3 million budget. Now, there's all now in Canada and Europe, home video releases from there feature a slightly different musical score and is missing the CGI sequence in the middle of the film. Now, Daniel Licht was the composer for the film. Yeah, and I'm gonna say that was pretty good. He later would go on to be the composer for the score for the Showtime drama series Dexter. Anyway, the film sits at 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. And, well, in one view, Collider described the film, it's a so bad it's good film, saying, whatever way you slice it, the film defies all logic and every rule of good storytelling, failing its way to the top to utterly delightful effect. Yeah, I agree. I'm feeling like, yes, this is a so bad it's good film and what have you. I will say I do appreciate it for what it had to offer. Now, for our cast, we have Terence Knox in the role of John Garrett. Now, of course, he's appeared in numerous films and what have you, and also TV shows. I think most notably, one of his well-known roles, was Dr. Peter White on Stay Elsewhere and Sergeant Zeke Anderson on Tour of Duty. Let's see. Now, Paul Scherrer played the role of Danny, and I'm going to say he was pretty good. And of course, he was a former child actor. This was his first film and what have you. He'd recently been on some shows, including the short lived original Uncle Buck TV series, and also appeared on Silk Stockings and the original Quantum Leap. Of course, after this, he would appear in episodes of Murder She Wrote, Promised Land, ER, Star Trek Voyager, and Jag, which that would be the last thing he did. Now, playing Micah is Ryan Bollman, who I do remember that name well. He was another former child actor. I've actually seen him in one episode. I recalled him from an episode of Punky Brewster and episode Small Wonder. Now, Micah's a pretty creepy character and what have you. Definitely. Playing Lacey is Christie Clark, who she had recently played the role of Angela Walsh in Nightmare on Elm Street 2 Frey's Revenge. She'd later go on to play Carrie Brady on Days of Our Lives. Well, actually, she was already well known for playing that character at the time, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to say she was pretty good. Rosalind Allen played Angela. She wasn't too bad. Ned Romero played Dr. Frank Red Bear. Very good. And there were several others and what have you. Let's see, Ed Gray played Dr. Richard Appleby, not bad. And Sean Bridgers played Jedediah, another member of the cult. And Aubrey Dollar played Naomi Johnson. Yeah. Anyway, I can't really give the names of the rest of the cast, so sorry. But anyway, from what I remember seeing, I've seen this 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna say, well, I don't quite like it as much as the original, but you don't have to take my word for it. At least I appreciate having the slasher feel in it, though, in the what have you. So anyway, this film was just wow, a so bad it's good film. So I agree with. But would I recommend it? Well, I would say only if you are a hardcore completionist. I'd say go for it. So that's all I'm gonna tell you. Just go for it. If you're a hardcore completionist, and that would mean a one-time watch. So, what did you think of Children of the Corn 2 The Final Sacrifice? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And continue to help to support my channel and make it grow with your views of my vids and what have you. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Children of the Corn 3 Urban Harvest. So, if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for these other films based on Stephen King's work. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of The Shining from 1980. The upper right-hand corner is my review of its sequel, Doctor Sleep, from 2019. Or if you would like maybe something else, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of the It TV miniseries from 1990. In the bottom right hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.